Hey legends, this is I Am Manifestation. I'm your conscious manifestation coach, Cerise, and I was going to say I help you get out of your own way so you can manifest your version of an awesome fucking life. But well, I'm going to try out a new intro. Let me know below what you think of I give you the cheat codes to win at the game of life, because I feel like that kind of goes more with my branding. I like it. So in today's video, I want to go through the time lag or time delay and why A, it's actually not a thing, and B, seemingly counteracting the first thing, why it's a good thing. So many of you are really impatient when it comes to your manifestations. And look, it's not like I haven't been there, like I've been there, okay? This is why I teach you guys the things that I teach you, because I've already hit the walls. I've already done the things that have gotten in the way of me having the things I want that I know that a lot of you are doing. And I want to save you the time that I don't want to say wasted, because it got me to here, being able to do this, something that I loved like doing and talking about and making money from that. But I want to save you guys the time and the hassle and the pain of getting in your own way more than you need to. Okay. Firstly, the time lag is not actually a thing, okay? Because everything's a manifestation of your most consistent thoughts and your subconscious beliefs. And so, therefore, everything you're experiencing now is an instant manifestation of where your current belief systems are at, or your current level of disbelief. You may have heard me say in a previous video or on my other platforms, if you follow me on TikTok, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, I'm on Pinterest. I don't know who follows me on there. But I talk about how you don't have to believe, you just have to not disbelieve. And that is because your natural state of being is having everything you want. And it's really just kind of a dam that's been created by disbelief and opposing thoughts that's stopping the flow of your manifestations from coming through, flowing through to you. So everything at the moment that you're experiencing is an instant manifestation of where your current level of disbelief is. So even if you're telling yourself all the right things, saying you've already got everything you want already right this moment, you've got to keep in mind that that dam then needs to be chipped away at. So you're not building a belief so much as chipping away. When you say that you already have the things you want, you're not building a belief so much as chipping away at the existing disbeliefs. And that's why, a lot of you will notice like you chip away, you chip away, you chip away, things start to trickle in. And a lot of you will be like, and then a lot of you get really pissed off that things aren't happening fast enough, which really just counteracts the work you've done to chip away at that and builds that dam back up. This is why you're seeing hot and cold on and off manifestations. So there you go. First things first, everything you're experiencing currently is an instant manifestation of where your current level of disbelief is at, or belief, if that's just easier for you to kind of wrap your head around. The second thing I wanted to talk about is the fact that the time lag is actually a good thing. And a lot of you are thinking, Cerise, why would you say that? Why would you say that it's good to not have the thing that I want right away? Well, as you probably know, if you've listened to any of my shit before, you're always manifesting. Anything that you most consistently think or subconsciously believe, good or bad, is what you experience in your world, is what you see more of in your world. So can you imagine how much harder it would be to stay on top of your thoughts if all the shitty things instantly manifested? Okay, I think enough said, end of the video. I'll see you later. Okay, but like, think about it. How awful would it be? Not only how awful would it be that any like opposing thought that you think of, which firstly is part of your survival instincts, right? So how shitty would it be to be a human being? If the opposing thoughts that you were thinking that is just your mind trying to keep you safe, instantly manifested. Secondly, when you learn how all this shit works and that it's your most consistent thoughts and subconscious beliefs that manifest and you try to stay on top of your thoughts, how much harder it would be to then ignore the old story that's currently showing up in your physical world. Well, not so much ignore, but like not be affected by, not be thrown off. Like it'd be so much harder to stay on track with your thoughts, your inline thoughts for the new experience that you want. So if you think about it, the time lag is really saving you because think of all the opposing thoughts that pop up that you now have time to go, actually, I have time to recognize that's not what I want, so I can change that. If it manifested instantly, you wouldn't even have that chance to do that. How you want to start thinking about it is seeing it as something that's there to help you. It's there in your favor. Also, when you are manifesting in a new version of something, right, you don't manifest what you want, you manifest what you are. So it's also positive in the sense that, I talk a lot about self-concept. Things are meeting you or shifting to meet you at your level of self-concept. So if you manifested in the perfect version of the thing or the person that you wanted, and you still weren't at the level of self-concept that was meeting, like was at that level, the same level as the perfect version that you want of those things or people, then you're going to eventually not be able to like have those things. You're going to self-sabotage those things. If you can think of the end version of the thing or person that you want and get that, you'll still not the version of you that is at that level. You're not going to be able to hold on to those things. You want things to meet you at your level that you're currently at, or the levels that you're working towards, right? When you're at a point where that self-concept is stable enough to be able to hold on to those things that you want at the favorable version of those things and people that meet you there. I hope that makes sense. And I want to add to that as well, like, because everyone's like so impatient, particularly when they first discover conscious manifestation and or the law of assumption or even the law of attraction. Like it's all the same shit. It's just different ways of teaching the same thing for different types of minds, right? But so many people are so impatient that they want the thing that they want right this moment. And can you manifest that thing in? Yes, but do you want a half-baked version of it? You can manifest it in, but do you want the version of it that's not at the level that you want? Because if you're manifesting in the half-baked version of something, that's still going to be showing you a lot of your old story, which you then have to counteract when you're presented with that in your physical world. I don't know about you, but I would much rather not have that thing in my direct line of vision or that person in my direct line of vision whilst they're becoming the version that meets me at my new self-concept. And it's a better self-concept in itself to not need something right this moment because you respect yourself and love yourself enough to want it at the best version it can be or the best version they can be. You should want that for yourself. So if you've been on any of my TikTok lives recently, I talk about how there's like, I teach law of assumption, but a lot of what I say is going to be different to what you hear from a lot of other law of assumption coaches. Why? Because I've learned it the hard way from doing like consciously manifesting harder instead of smarter. And then I've kind of been forced by like burnout or like shitty situations happening, like, oh, okay. Like, or like doing manifesting like two different things in and going about it where I'm like sitting through anxious feelings and things like that, but affirming through it, or just like stepping away from the thing that I want for a bit and focusing on my thoughts then and just doing things that I enjoy and seeing how much like easier that makes the process, right? So can you affirm through all the anxiety and things like that, like putting yourself in situations where you are like purposefully putting yourself in situations where you're presented with the old version of something or someone because you know that you're going to see them or you're going to be around the thing that you want to manifest because you probably think that that's going to be the logical link to your manifestation. It usually isn't. Distancing yourself from it so you're not looking at the old version is going to make it a lot easier to stick with the new story, the favorable version. Okay. And when you're doing things that you enjoy, instead of being in a situation that feels fraught with anxiety, it's easier to stay on top of your thoughts. Like it just fucking is. So why would you not choose that? Because if you're so worried about time, firstly, you're worried about time. What you focus on the most, you see more of, right? You focus on how long it's been. If you know how long it's been, and you need it right now, you're actually just manifesting more time between you and the thing you want. Okay, so you're actually creating more of a physical world time delay think about like by watching it, right? So think about a pot of water on the stove. When you're standing over the pot of water on a stove, it perceptually takes longer than if you put it on the stove and then you do other things, get the rest of the meal ready whilst you wait for the water to boil. And it seems to boil like that. Before you know it, you can hear it and you're like, oh, that was quick. Okay. So even if something takes the same amount of time, which is not what I'm saying happens, right? But even if that were the case, when you're looking at it, it perceptually seems like it's taking longer. But when you focus on it with your thoughts, notice the time, you're also manifesting more time between you and the thing you want because you get more of what you think about. Okay. So I think I'm going to leave that there. I will mention quickly, if you haven't already signed up for the no obligation to buy solid self concept course waitlist in the description below, do that. There's no obligation to buy, but a lot of you will be in denial that self concept is that important. Can you manifest without a good self concept? Yes. Do you want to be able to keep the thing you want? Then your self concept needs to improve. If you're still the same version of you that you were when you couldn't have those things or hold on to those things in the past, you're not going to be able to hold on to those things, even if you can manifest them in by obsessively affirming over them and putting yourself in situations where you feel shitty, but affirming through that. Okay. So some of you may be ready by the time it's released to admit that you can't really avoid doing your self-concept work if you really want the best version of the thing you want and to be able to hold on to the thing that you want. And you'll be kicking yourself if you don't have the opportunity to get a 50% off code for that course when it's released. So just fucking sign up already. Like, Jesus Christ. You're a fucking legend. Don't you ever forget it. And until next time, have a good one. The second thing. So really what you want to start thinking about it as is thinking about it, oh,